Hello there. I am back again, and this time with a very interesting topic, how to sell to the C-suite executives. But before that, let me ask you a few questions. Do you get nervous before getting on a call with C-suite executives? Do you feel the need to revise and re-revise your script multiple times before talking to C-suite executives? Do you check out multiple resources available on the internet to make a lasting impression on the CXO of a company? If the answer to any of these questions was a yes, then let me tell you, you've found Aladdin's lamp. Because everything you got to know about C-suite executives is right here. So, let us begin with the very basic question first. Who are the C-suite executives, and why are they so important? The more the C-level is involved, the better it is. Just not the power and authority, but their decision-making skills and influence make them a preferred buyer choice. CXO buyers accelerate the decision-making process as they decide in fewer meetings. While CXOs tend to challenge the fundamentals, they are equally responsible for showing a new way of approaching routine ideas. And both parties are transformed in the process. Isn't it amazing that just by targeting a few senior-level executives your deal closure process can be simplified manifolds? But, do you want to know a shocking fact? Now, as sellers, this might have given rise to multiple questions for you. How do we grab their attention? How do we make them enter the meeting room? How do we make sure that we make a lasting impression on them? Remember what we said in the beginning? You found Aladdin's lamp. So, let's unravel 10 strategies that this lamp will unravel for you. Here comes the plan. The C-suite executives are involved in multiple decisions within the organization, but they don't necessarily take all the decisions. So, your first plan of action should be to identify if the CXOs are the right person to talk to. Stop chasing the C-suite executives unless they are the decision makers. Identify the champion in the deal and build a good rapport to understand who will have the last word. Verify the organization structure initially and identify who could be the main characters of the selling process. If the CEO is involved, there's a good chance that he'll have a kitchen cabinet that plays a vital role in influencing his decisions. Try to address their concerns first. Once it's established who's in charge, you need to set the meeting. As per clients, C-level executives join sales discussions way quicker than before. Going with our assumption, prepare for the C-level buyer. To accelerate the process, start with getting a meeting scheduled. Channel the email or request through the champion or an influencer. Never fail to mention the reference, it helps reduce the time to the meeting. Make the message valuable and justify their time. Even 5 minutes is essential. Crisp, concise, and to the point. Stay one step ahead. Say what you'd say in the first meeting, try to solve a problem. Ensure addressing strategic issues in the message impacts business, easier to run the organization, etc. Rehearsal for the D-Day, first interaction, is another game. Here are a few points to keep in mind. Don't bombard them with questions, it shows a lack of preparation and value. Know more than you ask. Asking 4 to 5 questions is a conversation starter. The conversation should be a mix of 20% questions and 80% C-level worthy discussion. The C-level executives are strapped for time, under tremendous pressure, and have a comparatively low level of patience. So, try to keep your conversation short but meaningful. Here are a few tips to remember. Don't complicate information. Simplify and break down. Mirror the C-suite. Try to replicate their body language and style of talking to an extent. Share one-page content like infographics. Empathize with the company and the employees. Don't try to make small talk and avoid irrelevant discussions. Don't badmouth anyone or any organization. Practice not to interrupt a C-level executive mid-sentence. The next critical stage is to focus on your first meeting to get invited for another one. Need to hit the right chord. Speaking of the right chord, these are a few parameters that the C-suite is exclusively aiming at in the first meeting. First, set a clear agenda for the team and the buyer. While writing the subject line, remind yourself, why would the buying team open your email? They care about outcomes, more importantly, increasing profits, EBITDA. They expect a solid business case and a realistic ROI discussion. Focus on data, insights, and customer stories. Speak the buyer's language. Questions must be limited 4 to 5 pointed questions. The questions should be conversation starters and strategic. Focus on answering their questions crisply and systematically. Remember, the approach should be problem-solving against selling product services. Would you communicate to your organization's CEO and your sales manager in the same way? No, right? Here enters personalization. Personalize for the persona making the buying decision. So, let's understand how you would tailor your content to give your executive buyer a good experience. Before making plans, study your C-suite buyer's role, pain points, and business goals. Understand which parameters matter for a C-level executive. For example, a CEO and CFO aggressively reduce expenses and generate revenue, whereas a CIO and CTO aggressively work on compliance, security, and reliable infrastructure. Read the room and try to add something for everyone, but if the deal is at a closure stage, keep it pointed at the buyer and the business. Never disregard personalized messaging. Pinpoint problems, trends, or news they care about or are associated with. The next step is to understand what can you personalize? Personalize questions, demos, decks, data points, and email messages. According to a study by Harvard Business Review, the CEOs on average work for 62.5 hours a week. The personal and professional lives of the C-suite are generally overlapping, and boundaries are often diminishing. So, how should sellers behave? A sales rep is expected to value the time of the executive buyer and keep the meeting short, crisp, with clear meeting outcomes. Attend a key message and remove garbage. Make every statement count, back it with evidence. The excitement of meeting the CEO or CFO can often blind salespeople. Sales conversations and plans are all targeted at them, and in the process, the other members of the sales team get neglected. Let's first understand the two roles sellers should not bypass. Champions. Assistants. Never fail to mention your reference easier to reduce the time to get the meeting scheduled. Praise the champion and respect their concerns in the duration of the sales process. Run all confirmations and confusions through the champion. Engage and build a good rapport with the assistant to get internal information faster. There are multiple trends and upcoming hot topics that the C-level cares about. For example, since the dawn of the pandemic, building a resilient team and retaining talent has been a top priority of numerous organizations. So, how to use the topics and make the most of the discussion? These trending topics create an indirect influence on the deal. Never disrespect the industry trends and priorities. Instead, make them look good and positive. Don't disregard these discussion topics, but at the same time, be aware and stay prepared for a healthy discussion. Paying attention to subjects such as technology inclusion and automation indicates progressive thinking and passes a positive message to the C-level buyers. Construct e-learning courses and sales content for reps. Extensive workshops sharpen the skill set. Will need regular workshops and the participation of the reps. Dry run before the actual meeting. Run presentations 2 to 3 times before the actual day. Feedback session. The feedback offered by the sales coach or manager needs to be brutal and honest. Alright, that's all we got for you today, folks. In case you would like to have an expert's opinion on how to sell to the C-level executives, then tap on the I button to catch Rissa Kamsi sharing her learnings on the same. Hope this video helps you crack your next meeting with the CXOs. I'll take a leave now, but we'll be back again with another informational video. Happy selling!